Welcome to Happy Hour Holidaze, the podcast where we toast to entrepreneurship, business, and the extraordinary stories of how people succeeded in life. I'm your host every week, Manny Fresh. We got my co-host, Sean Fabre, and in the house, we got a motherfucking rainmaker, Mr. Tampa Bay, Joe Malinowski.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah,
so
what's up, Joe, man? I just heard you doing the flows and shit, dog, ripping that shit.
You want to give the audience a preview?
Oh, man.
Wait.
We'll pull up a better one.
But before, we got, Joe has... The Tampa Bay is awesome. St. Pete is awesome. Dunedin is awesome. I mean, he's got all the Tampa Bay is awesome. And they got 100,000 plus, followers. So, I mean, he's a social media influencer here, local legend with all the Instagram. So, man, it's so awesome to have
Been doing
Joe
it for like 10 years, right?
Yeah, man, 10 years this year.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
This year.
I mean, that's where, if you have anything that has to do with Tampa Bay and you look at those, you see some tight shit, from here locally. So I love looking at them. I mean, I'm a scroller here on Instagram and shit. And I've seen a lot of cool stuff.
Do like some restaurant reviews. I see a lot of those. And a lot of the restaurants you review, I've never heard of before.
That's what I try to focus on. I'll have the new spots and the mainstream spots that'll hit us up and we'll do stuff with them. But there's just so many of these local gems that maybe don't even have an IG page. They're not really pushing stuff that are banging and need some love. And it's like, why don't we go show off what's going on at that little podunk place on Waters, anywhere in like Armenia, West Tampa, like you got amazing places up and down that strip. So really just trying to show off anything and everything that we can.
So Joe, how did you, what was your journey to, getting all these pages with so many followers? I know people, like we were talking about, everybody's trying to go viral. I mean, you created a page that everybody loves here locally. And it's awesome. So, tell us about Joe and how he got to that point.
So it started off with I was doing consulting, had a consulting company with some friends, and
marketing consulting.
It was a business consulting firm, and I was the marketing guy around it. My other partner, Mark, brilliant guy that I learned just so much from. It was incredible, and I think a lot of sitting in on these meetings with $100 million companies and stuff, like I kind of got to be just a fly on the wall to hear the thought process. And I think some things that we take for granted around expecting different levels of business owners to already know that some of these things around, like, all right, you're positioning your marketing messages, like, all right, would you buy it if you saw this? And they're just like, probably I would ignore it. So seeing all that stuff, and had a chance to work with some cool companies locally, some big national, international companies. And then I took a paleo delivery food company from like $30K a month to like $140K a month, just kind of implementing this social strategy. And we were running a lot of ads, and a lot of the theory behind it was, what if we have a secondary concept page on social that's ambiguous, where, for example, paleo is awesome. People don't want to engage with brands. Like, you're not like looking to follow Target. You're not looking to follow, specific things. You're engaging with something of your interest. So create an interest-focused page, and then you get to promote your business and other businesses in that market. Now you get paid to do your own marketing that funds your own promotions. So that kind of theory started bubbling up for me around like 2011, 2012. Then tested out the awesome concept was building a page. I wanted to figure out what page name converted the best. So I forgot how many of them I tried, 5 or 6, 7 of them. And awesome was the best. It was like 3 or 4 or 5 cents alike. Like, all right, cool. I lived right near downtown Tampa at the time. Now remember, this is also 2013. So like downtown Tampa wasn't necessarily awesome. Yeah, it could have been called Downtown Tampa is kind of okay. But there was, half a dozen places that I loved. It was fun. Just tried it out, and we built it. That page went to like 5,000 followers on Facebook in like less than 60 days. We were running ads on it, and that kind of slowly started to scale out. And we're like, all right, how long do I want to just keep doing downtown? Do I want to try something else? Considering every page you start, is crazy time investment. Yeah. But within a few years, I had like 8 pages at one time on Facebook, and now everything's consolidated down back to 4 on Facebook, same 4 on Instagram. So Tampa Bay, St. Pete, Clearwater Beach, Dunedin, all are awesome. 4 on Instagram, 4 on Facebook, and then just Tampa Bay on TikTok. So that's a little bit of a very crazy Cliff Notes version of it, but I went full time with this in 2016, and I have been horribly spoiled and delightfully spoiled. I'm so grateful to be able to do this stuff ever since.
I got a question. That paleo, what was it? Paleo company?
Yeah.
How did you take it from 30 to 100 in a matter of how long did you say?
Just a few months.
Just a few months. How did you do that? Were you doing just social media marketing? Were you doing retargeting? Were you doing Google ads? Like how did that occur?
It was really through social, and then we're definitely running ads. So figuring out
what was the ad budget like?
Not that crazy. I think we started averaging conversions that were like $1. So the ad budget, and we had to be mindful around the speed at which we were scaling, because like we'd have 1 month that was 60K, 1 month that was 90K, and it's just like, okay, production.
Can
you have to think about it. Like, you have to now
up.
scale up, double what you're making, and shipping and like all of that stuff. So it progressively grew. I think at the highest point, I mean, we might have only spent like $5 or $6 grand to make that 130. Margins are also super slim. So, I mean, profit wise and everything, all those things would be, a little bit tighter and changing, but it's an interesting kind of, when you get what you wish for sort of thing. Like, I want to build, I want to grow, I want to do this stuff. And something that I've been super mindful about recently, like setting goals, like, all right, I'm going to go, we're going to go sell 100 houses this year, first year in real estate, we're going to crush it. It's like, okay, well, sounds cool. How much work is that going to take? Because I'm also not the one doing that stuff as far as like the listings and all these. I'm just the rainmaker of it. But do I even want to invest that much energy? So always, I think that's the thing that no one ever talks about with goal setting is what is the life going to look like? What is the activity that you're going to do day to day going to look like when you hit the goal that you're trying to get to?
Establishing a good foundation is also key to scaling any kind of business. You got to make sure that you can handle that kind of growth. And it's what helped us scale Foray Framework so quickly was having that solid foundation. Now, we learned the majority of it from books. One of the biggest books was Vernon Harnish, Scaling Up the Rockefeller Habits. That basically taught us how to scale. And then other books taught us how to do other things. Going back to that company that you scaled, what kind of ad copy was it? Was it just pictures or graphic design, or was it video? What kind of ad copy were you guys advertising?
It was identifying the best-selling products, the best-selling combinations of stuff. So it would always the ad creative would be basically like if you were sharing a link on Facebook, where you share the link and then it populates with the photo and then a link to whatever that product was.
With separate landing pages?
Separate landing pages.
And what were conversions for you guys?
Conversion costs?
No. What was the conversion
percentage?
No. What did you use as a metric as a conversion? Filling out a
sale.
Form or
sale.
a sale?
A
okay,
sale.
a
Someone
sale.
bought. Like, because the clicks were stupid cheap. The clicks were like 5 to 15 cents. So
how were you tracking those conversions?
That was when all in
through
Facebook,
Google Analytics,
through Facebook and through the website. So the website had a tracking mechanism in it as well. It wasn't Shopify. It was another. I forgot what the.
The Google Tag Manager can do that as well now, right?
Yeah, this is like 2011.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to figure that one out.
But Facebook it was before before
the Pixel, right?
Before all this. No, there was the Pixel. That was what was helping us do it. So then we were able to track and almost correlate it and kind of match it up. We wouldn't reconcile it daily, but it was obvious. That was the only thing that we were doing. So building that out and then also figuring out the ways to incentivize the customers to share experiences, get them involved, get them engaged, reordering, because that's really where it gets to scale a little bit. So if we went from 30 to 50, 30 to 70, how much of those people are we retaining, getting them on a recurring service, or maybe they're ordering every other month or whatever that case is. So how many of them can we keep as customers.
Were you guys doing email drip campaigns for those that maybe visited the website but didn't purchase or added to their cart, and then sending them an email later saying, "Hey, you forgot to."
That was later. Like it was like the Facebook stuff was just like firing on all cylinders. It was like, let's just do this as fast as possible until it doesn't work. Fortunately, while I like after a point, we were consistent with everything, and from a consulting standpoint, I'm just like, I've trained you guys how to do these. Like you kind of don't need me anymore. And it was always that was one of the things I remember learning very well with Mark is the best consultants are consulting themselves out of a job where you got to be okay with that. Like that was a very reasonable income that I was making from this project every month. And at some point realizing like what's best for them, it might not be financially best for me, but like they're paying me all this money every month.
Did you get some kind of residual
when you left? Share or anything?
So that's how we actually initially worked it out from the compensation side, because when they were only doing 30, like there was no budget to pay me really much at all. And I was like, listen, guys, like I know we can crush this. Like here's the chance that I'm up for taking. What can you do a month? And then we'll pay me a percentage of growth that and above that 30, and we'll build it up from there. So like after we start passing 100 and 130 and stuff like that, like now they're paying me a reasonable amount. It's like, all right, we let that go for a few months, and then
they're like, holy shit.
They were cool, but we're all kind of having a little come to Jesus meeting. Like, all right, we're paying you a ton of money, and now I'm really not doing like the work's been done.
Yeah.
The benefits are coming. How long in like perpetuity do we owe you? And I was like, look, guys, you'd be better off taking this money and doing X, Y, and Z with it than paying me. You've got a bunch of the foundation going, and it was great. I mean, I still communicate, chat with them every once in a while. I love seeing the stuff that they're working on, but that really sparked not just the concept of awesome, but as marketers, as people in the space, I hear all these people talking about agencies and all of these different things. And I'm just like, bro, you know who the best marketers are? I'm like, the people doing shit for themselves. Like,
yeah, the agencies are a bunch of fucking ripoffs,
like,
man. They're terrible. I mean, they just tell you, hey, this is what we're going to do for you. Give us $5,000 a month. And then
we
you're
did
like,
that.
Yeah, we did that and tried them out. We're like, this is trash.
It was a waste
and
of
it's
money,
like,
bro.
hey, we only got this amount of hours per week. We already got done with the hours. And it's like, what did you do with those hours?
Yeah.
Where did they go? Oh, a bunch of back end stuff that you can't comprehend. I'm like, I build websites. What are you talking about?
I don't need this
So
shit.
I know exactly what the fuck you've done. Nothing.
And
we only signed a 6-month contract, thank God.
And that's,
God.
people now with anything I'm doing, like, oh, we have a contract. It's like, no. Like, why? Like, if you're not cool with what we're working on, or this isn't, no one's locked in anything.
So you're doing it for companies still right now, right?
No,
Doesn't sound like it.
No, not at all. I'm not working with any stuff like that. The only stuff that I'm doing is fun, exciting local restaurant experience, real estate promo stuff.
Is that how you monetize your channel then? By so do they pay for a promo spot on your
So 3 different buckets. So we have a reoccurring. So I've got some places that pay $100 a month, and they're getting a mention, whether it's on Facebook this month, IG next month, TikTok 1 month.
What kind of mention? Like you going out to their place and
I've already got a
shooting
ton of their content.
or...
So I'll go out and so the first month is $500. I go shoot a ton of B-roll, take a ton of pictures. That loads me up with a ton of content. And if they decide they want to do that 100 a month, I go schedule content out the whole year. And then when there's something, we just
post
use
it
the menu,
to your page, right?
Post it on one of my pages.
One of them, yeah.
And then throughout the year, like we always keep in dialogue. It's like, hey, if you got an event coming, a new menu item coming, something special, like just hit me up. We'll make more posts. Like, but we're gonna have a minimum of this one post a month.
And it's not just restaurants; it's maybe retail spaces as well.
Depending on the retail, like I don't want them to pay when I know it's really not gonna do anything. Like retail's kind of a hit or miss. Like hospitality, lifestyle stuff,
Clubs?
Events.
Yeah, clubs. I would think
I would
you
think
get pretty good
do
traction.
all that great.
No. So restaurants are really like top notch. Probably the top.
They're the easiest.
They're easy.
People are excited about them.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get an idea of maybe another one. Other than restaurants.
So it's a really funny thing when you do a video for a spa or a salon or this or that, like the next week you got 10 of them hitting you up to do it.
So then,
But you can't do that, right?
you can, right?
I'm just like, guys, like I had a salon that was a friend's salon. So I was like, yeah, I'll come, I'll do it. I'm just like, what do you give me a blowout? I mean, what the hell are we doing? So, I had another friend come and they're giving her a style. And then,
For those of y'all that are listening, he's bald.
He has no hair.
Yeah.
And then, the promo did okay. I had another friend come and I think I did the voiceover. So it's like, all right, you got this guy with no hair, which people see the channel. Like, the hell is he telling me about a salon for? I'm not sure what he thinks. And it did okay. And other salons hit me up. But the best one, and it went up in December. So this is fun. There's a Korean spa on Hillsborough.
Tuggy.
So that's exact. Oh man.
I was thinking there's one on Kennedy. I've heard of.
That's the headline of the video. This is not the kind of spa you think it is. And so the reason why I went was I was a member at Harbor Island. They closed. Went to Lifetime. And I just loved the steam room. All right.
Oh, that's the International Mall one, right?
International Mall
I love
one.
that steam room, man.
They closed, and
No
they've been
way.
fotzing around with whatever they're doing at Harbor Island, which the timelines they gave initially were crap anyways. Like, I'm like, they're not going to open this for another year. In any case, there's no steam rooms anywhere. And my wife looks it up, and she's like, there's this spa in Hillsborough, and you go on their TripAdvisor, dude, and it's like the #1 spa in Tampa.
Gee, I wonder why.
So I was like, all right, you're approving this adventure, right? And dude, that video is blowing up. It's like almost 500,000 views.
Holy
But
crap.
it was legit. It's $33 for a day pass. They got a steam room, an ice plunge, a hot tub.
No
Oh,
way.
shit.
They have a Korean restaurant, which we didn't get to do because it closed on Tuesday.
Do they have sensory deprivation?
They don't have the sensory deprivation. They have 2 dry saunas. But the funny, like, it's not. You have to stop for a second?
Yeah. Let's hold that
Pause.
thought real quick,
Pause.
and we'll be right back. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and check us out on Spotify and all our socials. We'll be right back with Mr. Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and check out Tampa Bay is Awesome also on IG and Facebook.
All right, cool, and welcome back to Happy Hour Holidays. We're here with Joe, and he was kind of telling us a little bit about a funny story with. I'm not going to say rubbing tongue, but it was, the ice plunge, the saunas, the steam rooms. I mean, what people love. I mean, I'm always looking for a steam room like you were talking about with Lifetime. I mean, I would just go with my buddy because he had a guest pass like every now and then. I would just be like, let's hit that steam room,
You'd
man.
rub and tug with your buddy?
No. He did not
So
rub and tongue.
here's where the story takes an
Yeah.
interesting turn. So when you go in, I've never been to a Korean bathhouse before, but
That's what it's called, right? A bathhouse.
that's like the term for it. It's called Shangri-La is the name
Oh,
of
yeah.
the
I've heard
of
of
the name of
that.
the place. It's on Hillsborough and like 56th. So yeah, write it down. Write it down. And it's it's not in the most lovely part of town, so you're not like driving up to this place with a lot of confidence. Go in, $33 for a day pass. They give you like a not quite a dish towel, but it's a large enough. It's not going to wrap around you. Let's say that.
Oh,
and then they
man.
give you like 2 dish towels and a washcloth, and blue shorts and a blue shirt. So it's like you're kind of getting your prison fatigues. You got to put your shoes in a locker outside in like the lobby area. Then you go in and you've got big lockers. But then she's just like, the wet area is a nude area.
Oh.
And the men have their section and the women have their section. And I'm just like, what? And
No towel?
it is.
Oh, God.
It is. They're very out. There's a ton of signs everywhere. It's like, this is the naked area. So so the reason I go, I'm even at this place. One, my wife sent it over, but my buddy has a company, Elevated Embers, which is a mobile sauna ice plunge company. And him and I are talking about it. He's
That's
like,
dope.
bro, I want to go there. I was like, I've been trying to go. So I hit him. I'm like, let's go next week. Tell my neighbor we're going to this Korean place. So I'm sitting there. I got there before everybody else. I'm sitting there in the steamer with like a dish towel on my junk. And like 10 minutes later, my neighbor Edwin walks in. He's like, so this is what we're doing today.
Oh, God.
And then Nate comes in 5 minutes later. He's like, bro, I've been walking around naked in this in this locker room for like 5 minutes. Like, what the hell are we doing? So it was a bonding. It was a different kind of experience. But the steam room, the ice plunge was only it wasn't really ice. It was cold. It was in probably the mid 50s. It was what you need for an ice plunge.
Is it one person per plunge?
You can fit 2 people in it. It can get awkward. It's like the size of a hot tub. Is about how big that was. But it was a blast. But I didn't remember how we got to this, but it was just a funny thing going and doing something with this spa.
Yeah.
And then next week, I usually will have a bunch of spas hitting me up after I do a massage video. Like, no spas are like, when can you come do Hour? But that blew up, man.
Yeah.
I had people, a few trolls in there like, oh, you're promoting a stereotype. And I'm just like,
how do you react to those comments?
Yeah, the negative comments, because
there's best.
Because
They're the
we've
best.
gotten
Yes.
some. I kind of just talk. I give a smart ass remark to it.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, passive aggressive but smart ass. Just like, okay, dude, go fuck yourself. Pretty much is what I'm saying.
That, and I love my friend.
Not verbatim, but
my friend said that to me last week. She's just like, I love going on your real estate posts, and because there's not a lot of food ones where there's a lot of shittiness, but on the real estate ones, there's a dumpster fire, and they're fucking awesome. And I am just like poking the bear, just poking a little bit more to get it instigated.
where you going, Manny?
Oh.
My bad, guys.
But when they're just like, oh, you're promoting this stereotype, blah, 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 blah.
What's the stereotype?
That, like, I'm showing off some Asian spa and it's insinuated that it's a rub and tug. I'm just like,
Oh, they're saying it's clickbait.
I'm just like, is it? I'm like, I probably made them. I mean, I think it's just shy of, let's call it 450,000 views. If you had
Holy shit.
a quarter of 1% of the people that went there, I just made them like 50 grand. Worst case scenario, maybe they made. This was like right before Christmas too. I was like, bro, I'm sure they're stoked.
Yeah.
Gift certificates through the roof.
Boom.
That's a great gift.
And that's only if people only did the $33 day pass. Like if people got services, the services there are actually they're reasonable. Like
So they do massage there.
They
though.
do like reflexology. They do some like salt. They do some like vigorous body scrub things. So that's why I put in the text. I was like, look, we didn't get any services. So, but then the great part was there was probably 24 women commenting throughout the last month. They're just like, this place is legit. I love it. I go there all the time. Like lots of validation where it wasn't just me saying this is a cool spot. Look, it's not the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
It's not. You're not
It's
going
off of Hillsborough and 56.
Yeah, you're not going to like the most luxurious space, but it's solid, man. I'm gonna go back on Thursday.
Yeah, and I mean the biggest thing is like right now the ice
So now you
plunge and the
remember.
cold and hot is like a big deal. I mean, a lot of people were talking about. That's been the talk. Like the ice plunge, that shit all year towards the end of the year was the hottest thing that everybody was talking about.
We just had Steven Garcia on,
Yeah.
and he said that he would do that after every game.
Yeah, he would
Ice
say
plunge.
he said from hot to cold and
Yeah.
I mean
I've been doing it since
And
July.
finish on cold.
yeah,
Always finish on cold.
Yeah, which I never knew. That's what you're supposed to do.
I started it in July of 22, and
The Korean place?
no, the Korean place was December, but the ice plunges,
Oh.
Oh yeah.
man, like between that and the breath work. I mean, my buddy took me to this like Wim Hof workshop. I don't know, something like clicked and like my not just energy, but focus on stuff. Like I was just crushing it, and it's
This guy was telling us
Man.
on the last podcast that he takes cold shower. What you said on your
Yeah,
neck
no,
or
I
something
do
like
the
that?
sauna in the morning, so I go to the gym in the morning, and then I do the sauna. I do it twice because I love the
Yeah.
sauna. I do it right before I work out, and then right after, and then when I go home, I take a cold shower and I leave. I put the cold water right on the back of
Yeah.
my spine. It's some kind of Asian thing that they say is like really good, and it releases tension, and
totally.
exactly. So I've been doing it for a while. I just tell
There's
my
a
wife.
couple other Asian things that release tension.
Ah.
Speaking of this, so I got for Christmas a little. It's like a tiny little tent, and it's a steam room.
I've seen it,
It's
man.
fucking
You put it in your shower?
amazing. No, just
Oh.
like in the garage or in a room in the house or whatever. It's just. I'll show you guys a picture. I mean, it's 3x3, just a little tent. It's got a little box, pumps in the steam.
I need to buy
way.
one of those, bro.
$170.
That's it.
Fucking spectacular.
So I mean, at home that'd be awesome.
It's an in-home sauna?
Yeah, it's
In-home steam rooms.
steam room.
In-home steam room.
What's the difference between
steam
steam
is
room and
like
a
a
sauna?
wet. It's a sauna that's got the steam instead of just
It's dry
the
heat.
dry heat. Like in the
Oh,
sauna, it's
okay.
just that like those dry rocks.
So it's like Florida or Arizona.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty much it.
Exactly.
But
dry
I
heater.
like the steam rooms better too.
I love
mean,
the steam
and I like the the Lifetime used to put like a menthol and it used
I-
to like clean me
Little
out.
Eucalyptus in there.
Yeah, man,
that's what I got, baby.
man.
Put a few drops in this bucket with the water. It's amazing.
And then you just jump in the pool if you don't have a heater. You're good. That's what sometimes I do that when I get home from the gym. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna jump in the pool. And my wife's like, what is wrong with you? I was like, it's cold.
Yeah.
You know? She's
Oh,
like,
totally.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're doing that now?
Yeah, I mean, I've been
Nice.
doing it for
I
a
was-
while.
I'm saying, bro, it's cold as fuck.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know, I know.
It's
I mean,
awesome.
Yeah, if I like
I'm jealous. I don't have a pool to do it. I have a freezer full of ice blocks that I could do I do it in my tub.
Where do you live? You still live in downtown?
No, I live over in Carrollwood now. I'm like right around the corner from here.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like this area, man.
This is
Why
great.
don't you have a
Yeah.
Carewood is awesome.
I set it
Carewood
up.
is too small, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it is, right?
It's tiny. There's not much.
So I
in
have it.
Carewood.
Dunedin's awesome, and Dunedin's not that much.
No,
bigger
but
than...
Dunedin's got the beach, the
It's true,
causeway.
yeah, it does have more
it's-
than Carewood. I did set up a Carewood is awesome. I have it on Facebook, but it's not. I'm not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
Everything else falls under Tampa Bay, and I have people who will, not constantly, but they'll hit me up like, "Hey, why don't you start at Jacksonville? Why don't we start at this?" I was
oh,
like,
yeah.
"Bro, you know how much time this shit takes?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just?
Because it's a fucking ton of time, man."
Yeah, I
it
mean,
is a
you would
ton
have
of
to
time.
drive there or hire some people
Yeah,
to
I was
be
gonna
able to
say
do all the
hire someone,
B-roll, all
yeah.
the content, and
Bro,
all
you
that
can't
shit.
like it's not worth relying on other people. So the way that
Yeah.
I've kind of been doing it now, where I'm able to kind of enroll other agents that I'm doing stuff with that are not
Real estate agents.
dumbasses,
Real estate.
real
agents.
estate agents.
Yeah.
So like ones who are solid and like know how to do the video, are cool talking, doing stuff. Like when a restaurant, or whatever hits me up and like I don't have time to go, and they're gonna
Oh.
pay me. It's like, yo, you want to go do so and so tonight? Have at it. They go get free dinner. I'm gonna pay them some money. Restaurant's happy. They're paying me. They're getting their promo. Everyone's getting some action.
And you also mentioned 3 buckets, so we covered the first bucket.
So
What's
first
the second
bucket's
bucket?
the recurring. Second one is I have a lot of places, and this was a newer edition, which I'm an idiot and should have just doing it also from the get go. But
But Joe, that first bucket is 500 initiation and then
Or
100 bucks.
reoccurring.
Or,
so that's kind of like part of the 2 buckets. So the
Yeah.
500 initiation is not contingent on you doing monthly. So
Yeah.
I have
One
10 to
times.
20 places a month hitting me up to go and do these one-off promos. So a lot of it's just these one things. And then the nice thing is 6 months later, 7 months later, they're all like, I hit them up like, yo, you want to go do another one? Or my audience has grown so much, I can just reuse the first one. Like, yo, it only, $250. And
saves you work and still make some
Yeah.
money. Yeah.
they're just like, bro, I got one place over in like Lithia. Dude, that video's done 1 million views on Tampa Bay, like 500K
And
on,
they're
on
like,
St.
don't
Pete.
post anymore.
It's a being conscious sometimes of the power. I learned about the clout with a not a dangerous post, but a post on the Clearwater page when I saw somebody. There's a place in Safety Harbor called Whistle Stop, cool little ice cream place and burgers. Somebody was complaining that the city was making them get some sign and it was going to cost them like $15,000 and they shouldn't do this. I didn't read into it. I didn't see anything about it. I was like, fuck the city. I love Whistle Stop. Like that was my only thought. I was probably drinking at night and saw this and I just hit share to Clearwater Beach and that shit blows the fuck up. And I got all kinds of people hitting me up. I'm just like, I don't know anything about this at all. I just hit share. My fault. I got no background story. They're just like, this isn't it. Like, then you get people, this isn't accurate. This isn't this. I'm like, oh shit. All right. You end up reaching a follower level and engagement level at some point. Like you do have to be
Conscious of what
Conscious.
you
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 post.
got
you're
to
putting out
moderate
there.
yourself almost.
Oh yeah. Especially after a drink or two at night, you see some comments, you're like, what the fuck did you say? So I had on one of the real estate posts I did. So I had cancer in 2021 or 2022, and I had to get these 4 teeth removed and all my gums and stuff.
Was it from like smoking?
It wasn't. They don't know what it was from. Whatever it is, it's fine. I didn't have to do radiation, so it's kind of like the best case scenario of all of it. But in any case, so when they remove some stuff, this lip is a little bit higher. It doesn't close as well. And some dude said some shit on a post recently. He was like, bro, where's your lip? You gotta get some Botox or some shit.
Wow.
And I was just, I was like, damn. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. I had cancer a year ago. They just ripped a ton of this shit.
Damn, I bet he
out.
felt bad as fuck.
And then people are,
Yeah, but-
how he's bullying him on here. He was,
It's
I know,
expected,
it's just-
though.
I
mean,
didn't
bro,
give a shit.
Bro, what? I mean,
Trolls,
who gives a
trolls.
fuck about guys' lips?
It
Like,
was
we're
No,
funny.
it's trolls, man.
I
That's
know,
what
I
it
know,
is.
but
They
I
go
love
online just
all
to
of
troll.
you trolls.
Trolls,
I
yeah.
love you so
keep
much.
trolling because guess what?
Oh,
I'm
dude.
making money.
So going back to making money. So first bucket is
First-
reoccurring revenue.
first bucket's reoccurring.
Second bucket is because I want to monetize Happy Hour Holidays. I'm trying to get a free course
Absolutely.
here. So
Do it.
second bucket is
Second bucket's the one-offs. So still the same genre of content and everything like that, but it's easier to me to build those one-offs because there's some places that I can talk about once, but I can't talk about them every month. Like it's just not going to land. So the one-off promos, then recurring, and then the real estate side, man. Like the real estate is the way that I've worked it thus far is I used to have an agent for each of my pages. So you're in St. Pete, you're an agent.
who are the agents? Just out of curiosity.
Agents that are producing, agents that I've built a relationship
Like, who
that
was the
I
Tampa
like to hang
agent?
out with.
Who was the
So Tampa agent's my buddy Karen. He's got the Fun Tampa page.
What's
he
her
did like
last name? Or
Karen Clarkin.
Karen Clark.
So
it's a guy.
it's a
Oh.
guy. It's a and he did like 100 and something properties last year. Like
Holy
he's crushing
cow.
it. He's a rock star.
And he's just in Tampa.
Mainly, most of his stuff ended up being like Riverview side. That's where he was living.
That's hot right now. Brandon, Riverview, Lithia, all
Blowing
that
out
area,
in
yeah.
there, and so he's there. I got my girl Kristen Vincelli in Clearwater Beach. Like, just everyone's producing.
Who's in Dunedin?
So I've had some different people in there. Now I'm working with girl Sonia Craparo. She's kind of growing in this space because I had one of the highest producing agents, but I'm kind of just like, bro, I can dominate this like nobody else can possibly do. The difference being, and I say that because there's no one with any social pages in Dunedin at all. Like in Tampa and St. Pete, I have not competition, but there's other people producing stuff. There's Tampa Tomorrow, which is crushing it. St. Pete, you got St. Pete Rising. Like there's people talking about what is growing and developing here.
Those are real estate channels.
So not really. Tampa Tomorrow, him and I are going to hang out. I think I've heard that he got their, I thought they had the license and I thought that's where their game was. And I'm not sure yet, but I'm super psyched to learn more about their thing because he's fucking rock star, dude. Like he set a standard. But Dunedin's so like I've got 20,000 on Facebook. Real estate posts do more than the St. Pete page with 100,000 followers. Like you post a property in Dunedin, that shit goes batshit crazy.
There's so many
There's
people
a
that there's so
reason,
many people
yeah.
that love looking at houses. Like my wife's obsessed with HDTV. We look at house hunters. I mean, just looking at the design, house. I mean, we live in houses. Everybody wants to see what's going on. What's the design right now, and all this. I mean, I literally look on the MLS on my spare time almost all day when I get home.
And that's just part, like, people are like, what's the best performing content on your page? It's like, I'll say real estate, even though if you look at the engagement numbers, the engagement probably tends to be 40 to 60% of like a huge other really high quality post, but the views,
are through the roof
because they're watching the whole thing.
Yeah.
But nobody's really commenting on it, right? Because there's
Not as many
I mean, like
comments.
they're not going to troll on the house.
Oh,
my
what?
god, do they troll on the
Yeah,
house?
of course they troll
Oh,
on the
that's
house.
why
I
they're
troll
video-
on the house the
Bro.
entire time. I'm like,
But you're saying it's
I'm like,
less
this is $1 million.
engagement.
I say less engagement from if you look at the number of likes and shares
Yeah.
compared to like the Korean spa video,
Yeah.
which is like
Nothing but
10,000
comments.
shares.
Yeah.
No, there's I don't know, a couple hundred comments on that Korean spa one, but the shares and likes are 10K plus, where a real estate video might only have like 300 to 500 likes and 100 to 300 shares, but 100K plus views because they're watching it, but then the dumpster fire of complaining, the market's this, and
Oh.
I've been doing the voiceovers like fucking with people because it's not really fun. Like I'm like in a house. So the first house I did was $2.5 million, and I was like,
Look at
all
this
right.
cheaply priced $2.5 million.
It was the first one, so I had to be. I was like, oh, I have to be real. I got this. The luxury areas, blah 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 blah. This is so nice. And the next house was like a $700,000 tear, and I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to say? And my wife's like, just say some shit like, look at these ceiling to floor walls and wall to wall ceilings and fucked up shit. And it crushed it. And then over the last month, it's transitioned into some of this music shit. I got one going out tomorrow that's like a Gasparilla, yo ho, house for sale for you. So just having fun, man. Like
Actually, these will probably be out. How about you do that one that if you want to do the clean version or the dirty one, bro?
I'll do the Jay-Z one because I'm psyched.
He was doing these off air. They were good.
I've done like 5 or 6 songs. I don't know what it is. I haven't like heard, Jigga what? Jigga who? I haven't heard that song in a decade.
I think you're going to make music videos, right?
We're going to do this one next week. And I'm just like, oh man. When
come on.
When Jay-Z starts, and he's like, I got a condo and nothing but condoms in it, the same place where the rounds is invented. I'm just like, oh my god, a condo. I was like, how can I rip this into it? But then at the beginning of the song, if any of you remember, motherfuckers want to act loco, hit him with numerous shots with the fofo. Here we go. Here's the real estate version. Crazy buyers want to act loco, hit him with numerous rates on the low. Posers want to talk to Elo, treat him like Fizbos, book that, deals by the boatload. Scratch that. I know one guy, some guy, he got boats. He need big space for his roles. Stop the pre-qual. Stop with the bullshit. POF for the full flip. All renters pack it up for the fresh flip. One deal and make a newbie buy a fresh whip. I see that cash lined up for the next hit. Like it's
my god, bro!
Spitting that,
dog. Did you rap when you were in like high school and shit?
No, it's so. I'm texting my other buddy who like.
Are you coming up with the lyrics, man?
I did this whole fucking verse like in my drive to the gym. I'm like, what is going on right now?
All right, we're back with Happy Hour Holidaze.
Sorry for the interruption.
We're at TRL Rap City right now. Fucking spinning some records.
In the basement.
Free flowing.
Total Request Live.
With Mr. Tampa Bay Joe right now. Fucking filling us in
dude.
with what's coming up. We're super excited, man. When it comes, when you got to a certain like follower level, like what was that follower like number that kind of was like, holy shit? I'm rolling right now.
Like 5,000, 10,000, 50, 100.
No, I don't really actually think it
sank in like right away.
We're
or
like,
was it-
damn, I can influence some people.
So the influence people thing was the Clearwater thing with the whistle stuff. Like, oh shit, people really care. That was kind of like the funny moment. That was probably like 2018. I don't know how many the page might have had 100,000 followers, which Clearwater Beach has got like 220K because it's the beach page. Like,
which one's got the most? That one?
So Clearwater Beach has
But that's the city of Clearwater Beach.
Clearwater Beach is awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, okay.
Because you have Clearwater is awesome.
I have Clearwater Beach is awesome. Dunedin's awesome. St. Pete's awesome. Tampa Bay is awesome.
Okay, so you didn't do like just Clearwater itself.
No,
you did Clearwater
people
Beach.
don't give a shit about Clearwater.
Yeah.
They like the beach.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's pretty much 100% accurate.
Who goes, hey, I'm going to Clearwater. I go to Clearwater for floor and decor. I'm not going for anything else.
But I don't, I'd say when everything kind of got, I don't want to say easier, but like when the real I am fucking spoiled set in was really like after pandemic. People really, during pandemic, were reaching out to influencers more. And then it just became like nonstop.
So were you doing a lot of collabs with local?
There wasn't collabs back then.
Yeah, there wasn't. That's recent.
Collabs are probably over the last maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And now you can collab with more pages. So before you can only collab with one.
Yeah.
That was probably like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And now you can collab with 4 or 5 additional pages, 4 additional pages, which is amazing.
Because it shows on their page and it shows on your page.
100%. And you can remove yourself from it. Like I'm kind of riding that out as long as they let us do it, just because it helps you get so much different exposure. So now, I've got other friends with other pages that have large audiences where like I don't always have to collaborate Mr. Tampa Bay stuff with my awesome stuff, because it's like after a point, like those people have seen Mr. Tampa Bay, and like I don't want them to just see the redundancy. Like I got Must See Florida, super awesome crew. I think he's out of like Sarasota or Fort Myers. Super nice.
What about Flow Grown?
Flow grown, dude. Ah, man. Like, love the hat. I got my FLA Living stuff, my FLA Living gear.
I purposely bought Flow Grown a hat and a shirt for a model, took pictures of it, and tagged them in. And then they reached out to me. They were like, yo, bro, did you do this on purpose? I was like, absolutely, I did.
Fuck yeah.
And he was like, okay, well, next time, do it a little bit better, and we'll post it on our page and tag you. I'm like, perfect. And that's exactly what they did. And, you know, I gained X amount of followers on the Foray Frameworks page, but it was targeted. And that was before collabs also.
Joe,
oh, nice.
With the influence that you have, do you ever think about having like a ranking system with restaurants, hotels, and maybe paying, Florida's a really big tourist, tourist area. I mean, you're talking about, maybe restaurants being like, hey, I want to be the top 10 places to go to Dunedin or the top 10
kind of like
places.
Best in the Bay almost.
Yeah, it's almost like Best in the Bay, but it's your best. I don't know.
It's tough
because I just think there's so many people that come down here and they're like, okay, what do I do now?
And then tell them to pay you 5 G's for the number one spot.
It's almost like Zillow. I know you want to do it for the people, but at the same time, I'm like, man, this could be huge. And when it comes to that part of it,
you're totally accurate. My only thing with it is. And my wife is like, I'll call her, she's like the authenticity manager.
What do you mean by that?
So I'll have a ton of wild ass, whatever kind of ideas. And even like, so now the black shirt, Mr. Tampa Bay, these khaki pants, I have the same exact pants that are shorts. Like this is the uniform. And now I'm wearing my watch. Like I have a ton of watches. I wasn't wearing that often. And then I was like, all right, this is the thing. I got black shoes. I got this. I got the white watch. This is what it is. And then getting into something, she's like, you're showing off all of these bougie ass things and cool, but she's like, that's not really you. How do we, Joeify it a little bit? Because that authenticity still has to be there. So, for instance, when we were talking, I mentioned to you guys about this Beyond the Follow. Did I mention the TV show, the docuseries?
You did, I think, off air.
Yeah.
So, putting that show together, the initial idea was like every episode, I'm pulling up in a fucking Rolls Royce Cullinan. I'm pulling up in a Maybach. I'm pulling up in something. So, I got a relationship with an amazing rental car company, and she's like, it feels forced. Like there's no reason for you to be in a Rolls Royce today. Like. Do you want people to think you have this car or what? I'm just like, yeah.
That's a good question.
It totally is. Because she's like, there's so much this bullshit. Like every time you see some fucking influencer like in front of a jet, you're like, these fuckers, they're fine. They just like walked on the runway like, hey, bitch. Like there's so much inauthenticity where that's where the music stuff. Like I'm a fucking musician or something. Fucking Weird Al of real estate kind of shit.
Yeah, but that's how you get, I get the authenticity, but also that's how you get, more pull from other people looking at you as well, because they're like, hey, this guy's fucking real deal. And it's not about, hey, you own this car. It's like, you got the connections to have this car.
Which to a degree, look, I mean, the reason I even have the relationship that I've created is I was driving a Lambo doing a video at the JW showing up the presidential penthouse. So the owner of this company hit me up like, yo, I don't know if that was your Lambo or blah, 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 blah. And him and I fucking hit the table again. I got reprimanded for touching the table.
That's already 3 strikes in this one segment.
Well, we got this maker's mark out here, so it's getting lit. But me and him hit it off, and he's so much fun. He's recently, going through a sale of a company. He's got a ton of cars. He's doing a ton of rentals. They've got amazing, amazing cars. And like him and I are doing all kind, like we're going golfing. He's coming out on Gasparilla. Like him and I hit it off because he saw me driving someone else's shit. Like you never know where it comes from, but still maintaining a little bit of the like, how do I relate this into like Joe's life? Like, all right. Oh, fuck.
So when he asked you,
that win is super. What's that win is super? That's that Kanye song. So it's like win the Super Bowl or sell 100 million and pull off in the Hyundai. Like that's got to be. There we go. See,
this is like, get out of my brain. Get out of here.
So when he asked you if it was yours, what did you tell him?
No. What the fuck? Pull up in the Hyundai.
Hey, I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that Lambo again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it, man. I think that it's tight to pull up in like different whips because
Totally.
Yeah, but it's
But
but
in
what he's saying
context,
is not
in context.
authentic Joe.
I know it's not.
Well,
But
no. Not to say I'm not going to
No,
do
it's-
it.
yeah.
Like, so with the show idea, it was like I was going to pick you up and we're going to go drive around in some badass car and then I'm going to drop you off. And it's like, all right, why the fuck do I even have this car? Why would I have this car? I would have this car if, so the end of the episode that we're going to do, like the cliffhanger, is my buddy broker is going to hit me up and be like, yo, congratulations on passing your test. I need you to book some time to go to St. Pete. I got you this $13 million property to go promo. Because we got this spec house that we got to go show off. That would make sense for me to have some
Nice car.
Caitlyn Jenner's Porsche, which we were supposed to take out the other day.
no way.
This yellow Porsche, yeah, which is like $500,000.
Does she live in?
It says Caitlyn when you open the door.
But does she live in Clearwater or St. Pete?
No, it's Caitlyn Jenner's Porsche. Like he bought that Porsche.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Like, so whatever the case is, but like that, he has a bunch. I mean, all types of cars. That was the car we were supposed to take out a week ago, and then we messed up our scheduling.
So one of the words I heard in there was golf. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, are you good? Are you bad? You got a handicap?
No, I'm terrible. I am handicapped.
There's no handicap.
It's,
No, but I mean, what do you normally shoot?
if I can break 100, which has been like maybe once, I'm stoked.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I'm really.
So you play for fun.
No, he likes to.
He's like, bring the maker's mark and let's hit some balls in the water.
Absolutely. I went to Southern Hills like a month ago.
Southern Hills is
that's a
nice.
cool
Yeah.
Fucking awesome, dude. Such a beautiful course.
It kind of takes you back with the clubhouse. How
Just
You can't wear a hat in it, and your shirt has to be tucked in, and you got to wear a belt.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, at least that's what they told us.
they
brown
told
folk.
us the brown folk we come in there.
They saw you guys.
Hey, that white guy over there, he doesn't have it. He's like,
That white guy's hat's on backwards. His shit's not tucked in.
yeah, we don't care about him.
He's a member. He can do what he wants.
He pays every month, guys.
Now get out of here,
You
boy.
asked for a discount. You came with the Groupon.
Damn, I haven't heard.
I wish
Groupon
they
in
had a
while,
Groupon,
dude.
bro.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, we played a tournament over there for our league because we're
Oh,
in
you guys are in a
TPGT.
league.
Yeah.
God damn.
There's a 9-hole league at 5:00.
Yeah.
Oh, where do
And
you play at the
Like Carrollwood.
country way?
No,
Carrollwood.
they do it across like all the like a lot of golf courses, and it's 9-hole league. You play with another partner, and then you play like A player plays the A player, and then the B player plays the B player, and then whoever wins, with a handicap, you have a handicap,
So
and
we-
then at the end
Wow.
of it, they have like playoffs and like mid season, they have end season. It's really cool, and
Sounds
it's all
cool.
skill levels too. It's fun.
How long is the
It's pretty much as soon as daylight savings times hits and it changes the time where now it's like, getting dark at 8:00 or
Yeah.
7:30, it starts. And then they do 2 sessions of 9 weeks, and then they do a scramble for the last session. And then once daylight savings times ends, then it's over.
And we were doing it at Carrollwood.
At Carrollwood,
Nice.
but they have it at Eagles.
is that the Carrollwood Country Club?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
Oh,
have
nice.
it all over. They have them for Heritage Harbor, Heritage
Heritage
Isles,
Isles,
Plantation
Plantation.
Palms.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really
Fox
fun.
Hollow.
It's a
Get outta
TBGTE,
here.
and then they also do one.
Seven
the
Springs.
Spark League also does one similar to that one, but
Oh, dude, that's so. I totally like. That's something right there.
yeah,
like,
that's fun as hell.
I would love that's something unique and different to talk about.
Well, you
Yeah.
could
You know?
also gain clients from that.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of realtors that play, other than Brian. Right?
Mhm.
Brian.
But there's so many different professionals that play there that there's a guy
Just
that
having fun, man.
we met there that installs
Nah,
TVs
this
for
is
like the
competitive, man.
Kardashians and stuff
Nice.
like that. So
How
it's
frequent is is it twice a week?
no,
once
it's
a
just
week?
once a week.
Oh.
For
Every-
Carrollwood, it was every Wednesday.
Yeah, every Wednesday, and
Every
it's 9
single
weeks. So they do
Yeah.
9 weeks, and then then they whoever finished on their standings with the point totals
Yeah.
and everything, then it goes another 9 weeks, and then if you won either one of the sessions or you got
Like
point
playoffs or
totals,
whatever.
there's
Yeah.
playoffs.
You have to
there's-
show up every week, though.
yeah.
So it's
But
commitment.
you can do
Yeah,
subs,
of
course,
obviously.
of
You can
course.
do subs too. I mean,
Yeah,
What's
but
it-
that
what's it
sucks.
run?
If you want to win,
it's
you
whatever
should
the
show
cost.
up.
It's
Yeah.
$25 to play for the whole season, and then it's whatever the 9 holes
Which
cost
I
for
think
the
was like
for
30
the club.
bucks. Yeah.
And it's usually the most expensive one was Carrollwood, which is $30 for 9 holes.
Wow.
But some of the other golf courses are like 20 or 18, depending.
Dude,
on
that's
It's awesome, man.
spectacular.
Yeah, it's so much fun, man. And we've been
That's
doing.
the kind of stuff that from the what do I talk about, what do I want to talk about? Like not everything that goes on the page is paid at all. Like
Yeah.
I'm, constantly going out, checking out cool places that just need some love and
Yeah.
and places that are just doing a great job. Like I've been to two of my favorite things at this point are these two Asian markets, man. These two.
Gelato? Did you go to the new one that they
No,
built?
no, I don't mean. So the Lotto, I did that on their grand opening, dude. That video, I think it's the biggest video I have. It's like almost 2 million plus views.
What the hell's Gelato?
Crazy.
Dude, they got
The
food, right?
Latte market.
Latte, I don't know.
Up
how to-
on
Sheldon and Limeball?
No, it's over there by New Tampa, right?
Yeah, like 75 in Bruceby Downs.
Yeah,
That's
it's right
where
next
I
to your
live.
house.
I've never seen
It's-
it. Oh,
it's just
yeah.
opened
It
like a
used to
month
be a
ago.
cash and carry or a Winn-Dixie
Yeah, I don't know.
or something.
like
Yeah,
that.
some grocery.
It's by the
store.
Home Depot.
Right by Home Depot.
Yeah.
But I went there and they didn't have the restaurant. It
didn't
was
have the
the ribbon cutting.
Oh,
it was the first 10 minutes, and I did the video there. But no, this Asian street food market. There's Friday nights, the Lao Cultural Center in St. Pete on 58th Street, and Saturday, Sundays, the Saigon Market in Clearwater. And it's just like
Have you been to
amazing.
to that Buddhist temple that has a farmer's market that's like
a long time ago.
Bro, that place is dope
It's
as
awesome.
shit. Yeah.
This is like that. I think
But better.
not better. It's just it's like very
Bigger.
from what my friends have like, dude, this is very Asian street food. Like you're walking through like 25 vendors. They're all grilling and making everything.
They
Like
speak English?
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like eating
Not everybody.
I feel like eating
Yeah.
Saigon Deli now.
Saigon
Man,
Oh,
I had
Saigon
balut.
Deli's not
I had
bad.
balut a couple weeks ago.
You mentioned that earlier. What the hell is balut, bro?
So
I've never
so
heard of this.
Yeah.
when I showed up to do the promo, like we go to different types of ethnic places. Like we're gonna go do this amazing African place that opened up in the Heights next week. But when I show up at this Asian market, dude, there's like 25 something vendors. She's like, bro, what do you want to eat? I was like, just let's go get whatever food the white people aren't getting. Like I want to go show up something different. Like me to walk around here and it's like teriyaki chicken on a stick. Like,
I
who
already
gives a shit?
had that. Yeah.
So balut is a duck egg that
Ooh.
has a duck fetus
Oh.
in it. I like that. There we go. Ooh, oh. Yeah.
Like a live duck.
It's not, no,
Well,
it's
it's
dead
dead,
now. They
right,
boiled the
but-
shit out of him. He's fucking dead.
Oh, man.
So,
I'll fucking eat it.
and the
Not if
lady,
it's got feathers. I mean,
I'll eat it still.
ugh.
so we can go back, and I did it, and it was delicious. The
Yeah.
lady, like, I don't know, she put a ton of shit on it, and it was really tasty. Apparently, I did not have one that had like a fully formed beak. Because someone's like, "Was it crunchy?" I was like, "No, I didn't really get too many feathers. It tasted like an egg, but there was like duck meat in it. I enjoyed it.
What about
Like,
bones?
it was a little tiny bit crunchy, but it wasn't like you're chomping down bones. It was
It's an experience.
it was an experience, and I would totally. It wasn't a weird thing. It's weird when people talk about things and. People have weird things, I think, with food where I'm just like, bro, if as long as it's not Jello, I'm solid. Like, fuck Jello. I can't do anything.
Is that a pun?
I can't.
As
It's
long
not.
as
It's not
Jello, I'm solid.
I'm
Anything,
good.
just no fucking Jello shit.
Jello. Like we're going to Gasparilla this weekend, and then you're on the boat, and people are throwing fucking Jello shots. I'm just like, God damn it, bro. Like I'm gonna puke all
Is
over. this.
Gasparilla this weekend?
Yeah,
Saturday.
Yeah, the kids parade. I was
It was
gonna
last weekend.
Yeah, this last weekend. I was gonna take my son and I
Okay.
completely forgot about it.
It was
And then I
so
saw
much
it on the
fun.
news and I was like, oh.
So,
How old your son?
So avoid
2.
downtown Tampa.
Okay.
I mean he's still young,
Another
but
little. Our daughter's 5, and we
Yeah.
took her, and it was a blast. My shoulders are still sore from like.
lifting her up and stuff.
Trying to both jump with her and not drop her. My wife's yelling, "You're gonna drop her." I was like, "We gotta get these fucking beans." It was great. Like such a different Gasparilla experience. We're driving home, like that was the nicest Gasparilla we've ever done. Like,
I know, right?
we're
there.
not hungover. We were there an hour. We got back home. We left the parade. From the time we left the parade, choosing to leave to home in Carrollwood was like 45 minutes. Like, how the fuck did we just do that? This
Where
was
the hell
No,
did
and
you
the boat,
park at?
being on the boat is the best way to be at Gasparilla.
when someone else is driving, it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just like bumping into the boats when you get close to that harbor, like
Mhm.
Jackson's and where American Social's at. You go there and it's like, I mean,
Before that, like once you get into the channel
Yeah.
between Davis Island and Harbor Island, like it's
compact, right?
it's super compact. When you're not driving, you don't give a shit.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know we
shout
got
out
pulled
to
over
Sean
like 4
for
times.
doing your driving. 'cause
Doing your drive.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a-
How old are you, Joe?
I'm turning 40 this year.
40?
Yeah,
Oh.
in August.
Well, you still look like a young buck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Being bald, like
Really helps.
Man.
And those cold plunges.
Those cold plunges, boy.
Do you put your head in there too? Or
I mean, I'll go under.
just dunk it a little bit.
I'll go underwater sometimes, not every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the cold plunges are great. That's only been a year, but I don't think I got any little bit of gray in my beard until my daughter, like, you kind of get that, you know. Now you got
once you have kids, it's
I got too much gray in my beard.
The gray start to.
It's not too much.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. When it grows out, man, I'm only 34.
Yeah, and he has no kids, so
and
I got
shit,
kids, bro.
Yeah, you need to chill the fuck out.
Dude, you know, talking to you, Joe, I feel like your life is so much fucking fun. You know, that's well, I mean, you know, everything that you have, I mean, your profession, like, you know, career or, you know, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's so much fucking fun, you know, like going to all the different restaurants, you know, socializing with so many different businesses and stuff like that. Like, it just sounds like, you know, it sounds like the American dream, dude.
And we'll find out what Joe thinks about what Manny just said when we get right back. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow. Tampa Bay is awesome. Dunedin is awesome. Clearwater Beach is awesome. St. Pete is awesome on both Instagram and Facebook.
And February Frameworks.
And Happy Hour Holidays. We're all over every podcast station, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, everything. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be right back.
Yeah, welcome back to Happy Hour Holidays. And I was like admiring Joe's, like, you know, life when it came to like everything he's got going on. I fucking love it. And how is it? I mean, it feels like, it almost feels like being retired because it's so much fucking fun. And
it's like you're a superstar.
Yeah, you're a superstar, and you are Mr. Tampa Bay.
Mr. Tampa Bay, that's right.
Look, I am very, very conscious to how much fun it is and how spoiled I really am. And it's one, thinking of the show, so beyond the followers and influencers POV, thinking of the concept of the show, you know, talking with my wife and the context of the conversations that we have similar to these, it's like, and even my buddies, when I told them about it, not philosophy, but like my thing is always like, I've been trying to retire since I was 12. Like, all I want to do, and this is what I've always said, I was like, all I want to do is play with my fucking friends and hang out. Like,
eat food, go to spas.
And it's like, how the fuck it is not an infrequent thought to be like, how the fuck did I do this?
I know.
And sit back and like
reflect on and take
all
it
the time, all the time, really not taking it for granted. Sometimes an ego kicks in. Not
it happens with any of us, man.
In. Well, here's why the ego kicks in. So, doing the real estate stuff, I saw like the least expensive property because I'm showing off some really badass, crazy houses. So I wanted to show off lower price stuff. The lowest property in South Tampa was $220, and it was livable. Someone lives there. It's not a shitty house. I mean, it's probably gonna get knocked down or whatever it was. And I hit up the agent, and she's just like, oh, I don't think so. I'm like, I just want to come do a promo for you guys. It's been on the market a little bit. I can guarantee you, like, the next lowest price place is like $390. Like, this is gonna fucking explode. And then she's just like, I don't know, my buyers or my sellers have just gotten some offers from like builders. They don't really want any of that stuff. And then in my head, this was like, I had to tone it down. Like, I'm just like, bitch, do you know who I am? In my head, I was just like, are you kidding me right now? I was like, I am going to go promote the fucking shit out of this house.
For free.
For free.
What a dummy. I would have been like, yes.
I would guarantee you. I did a property in St. Pete the same day. 195, bro. I got like 10 people scheduled for showings on this house.
Holy shit.
Instantly. Like, and that was a fucking dumpster fire. Like, that is not a house you're moving into. You're going to demo that shit and rent it. Like, it's whatever that was in St. Pete. It's doing great, but whatever. This St. Pete lady, and that's the interesting thing. When I started doing this music stuff, I had like, it was almost like a little bit of like a realtor diss, which my wife's like, stop being a dick. Why do you have to be a dick? I'm like,
oh, man. I mean,
to the authenticity context, she's just like, you're not a dick. Why is it just you're so like, fuck, what's going on? I'm just like, I'm tired of dealing with people who don't get, you want to sell things. You want to do things. Like, work with people. Like, you're going to get, I'll collab it with you. You can still get the credit. You could be the listing agent on this shit. This is going to get both of us an astronomical number of views.
You want to sell it for them. Is
You
what
just
you're
gave me an
saying.
idea for Foray Frameworks with you, man.
Dude, that's
Big
when we
fucking idea.
like out of the show side of things, like the number of views that we can get for Bray, for how
Happy-
this is all
happy
going.
hour
Well, I mean, just
holidays.
to
for
help.
happy hour holidays,
Yeah, I
for
mean,
everything.
I mean, I'm just, yeah. There's,
it's silly,
we
and
need to
no
do
one's
golf
doing it.
and cigars, something like that.
I can't smoke. Every
Or
time you go to
not.
like, oh, you want to smoke a cigar? I'm like, yeah.
I don't really care for them.
I can't smoke cigars on the golf course.
No,
I don't know
I mean,
how
I
people
don't. I
do it.
don't. But I just always think, people always go golf and cigar, but I could care two shits for a cigar.
So,
I really
so
don't.
then you had the aha moment, and you're like, you know what? Let me just get my fucking license.
This is Wally. This is last
Yeah,
week. I had the
yeah.
fucking license. I wanted to go
Oh.
promote this shit like
Oh.
last week.
you want to be listing agent too?
I didn't want to be the listing. She's the listing agent.
No,
I just wanted to
listing
go
agent
promote.
too, right? So you partner
Not at
on
all.
it?
No,
No.
she already listed it. I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck. I just wanted a cool place that's gonna go viral and get me visibility because I'm gonna do 100 houses in 60 days. So then you go on Mr. Tampa Bay and it looks like I listed 100 fucking houses, and every one of them has 30, 50, 100,000.
And you're doing this
200,000
for
views.
free for them, bro. We can connect you with a lot of our clients.
It's part of when you guys first hit me up. I was like, we have so much to talk about.
Yeah.
And then you're like, let's do the podcast. I'm like, it's gonna be great. Let's just we'll run with all of it. But
we could hook you up with a lot of our clients.
and
man.
then it's a value add to what they're doing. It's like, yo, you guys gonna go do their badass drone video. They're gonna go pay for all that and then get fucking what 1,000 views.
Yeah,
Not
like,
even.
not even.
So I
yeah.
wanted
A
to-
lot of them don't utilize it the way they're
They
supposed to be.
They get the
utilizing
video,
it.
but
I
they
know.
they don't know what to do.
They don't use it. Let's put it that way. Oh yeah, if I post it here and post it there,
Yeah.
it's gonna sell.
Instead
No,
of
you gotta
teaching-
market
Yeah.
it. You
No, it's
guys,
not.
here's the
Yeah.
content.
It's like you're
Go market it.
So here's what my other
I put it on
video-
Zillow.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's a perfect segue.
Yeah.
So at the end of this 30 days, I'm going to do this video, which has to get modified. Authenticity police put a little stop on me being a dick about it, but which is valid.
Your wife.
She and look,
What's your wife's name? You have it.
her name Amanda, and
Amanda.
she is 100% the reason behind every idea that I've had that's worked. Like,
Yeah, I've heard you say her name a lot, so I'm pretty
She's-
sure you guys collaborate. Almost, I mean, it's your wife, but at the same time, she could be
she'll
like
throw
"Oh,
some shit
yeah."
out there, and I just run with it. She
Yeah.
showed me this, so the music came from the guy at the weather guy, and it's just like, all right, that spun us down this. Where like my first one was Limp Bizkit, and
Limp
it's
Bizkit.
dog shit. It's garbage, and it's like, all right, I just needed to season myself. 24 hours later, now I'm doing these that like actually make sense. So the video I wanted to do was like, all right, Mr. Tampa Bay versus every other versus or compared to 98% of agents, and it was going to show just like my stats, like last 30 days, 2.7 million views, 300,000 visits to the website, 98% of other agents, and it was going to be this like super sexy girl and two agents. It'd be a super sexy girl and a really well dressed guy meeting with you, the seller, and you'd be like, oh, how are you going to market our property? And then she's going to have her, let me see your pen. She's going to be like, we're going to put that on the MLS. And then it's going to go on Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com.
And we're done. How does that sound?
How would you like to list with us? Oh, how big is your social audience? We literally have hundreds of followers. Like,
Instead of
it's
tens
just-
of thousands.
tens of hundreds, tens of hundreds. How many
hundreds.
views is this going to get? Where are you going to put it? Just like it's going to get in front of hundreds of people, guys. Hundreds. Like, and then like the beat drops, and then like all the fucking just snapshots of all my shit comes in. So
this is gonna be fun.
it's gonna be
I'm
fun.
gonna-
So I gotta. She's like, "Why do you have to put everybody else down?" I was like,
It's not putting everybody else down, but it's also like
It's a parody.
look,
it's a
Yeah,
parody.
it
Yeah, but
is.
it's also it's like, hey, maybe you guys should realize that there's going to be some people, there's going to be you coming into the real estate market, with a game changer.
"Man, it's just so." If any one of these fucking things that I'm doing hits, it's just silly. Like, what if one of these songs hits? What if this?
What do
this
you mean
show
when
hits?
it hits?
When it
When
hits.
it hits.
When it
See,
hits,
yeah.
bro. Like it's not like I'm gonna stop doing these songs. I don't give a shit if it goes viral or not.
Yeah.
One of them is gonna go.
There's going to be
Like-
one. I mean, you're going to throw 10 out there, and one of them could hit.
So the question in any podcast I've been on, and people was like, how does it really get to success? It's fucking consistency.
Yeah.
That is it. Like, just continue to go and do, and you'll find something that hits, but then you're figuring out how to duplicate it. Like if you're just constantly doing some shit and it's not landing, tweak it a little bit. Like, but when you find it and it hits, fucking do it till the wheels fall off, dude. Like the formula for the food is opening shot of me having some whatever crazy bite, or I just did this pho video where like I'm showing off. I take the oxtail out of the bowl and I act. This was totally blooper shit. I just dropped the shit. It spills all over me. I'm like, like
It's almost like a mix of Dave Portnoy. You know how you taste all the pizzas?
yeah.
You're tasting different foods. It's not just pizza.
I lead with that. Then I get into nice shot of food, entrance, and then the rest of it's just random food shit and everything else. Like figuring out what that cadence is to the video flow for whatever you're doing. The interesting, thing that I was actually just talking with another friend he was talking with he's got some investments with Jay Paul, the celebrity guy, the boxer guy, YouTube guy.
It was filmed.
So he's my friend I was hanging out with is an investor in one of the companies that they're all doing, and something that Jay Paul has had and many other influencers had. Like you 100% will get to burnout of doing this shit that we're doing. Like I'm scheduling a ton of posts. You go through a week of scheduling posts out for a whole year. You're like, I fucking don't want to do any of this shit anymore. Like I'm done.
Well, then you hire someone.
But I scheduled it. That's why I scheduled it. But then it's like, what are the things that I actually have to be doing? And look,
Content creating.
I just have to go eat, take a bunch of shit. Like,
it'll get to a point where maybe you just have someone that just follows you around and films you, and you don't actually have to do anything, depending on how much money you would be making. I mean, we were photographing homes in the beginning, both of us, a lot of homes per day, and then it clicked. It was like, no, we should be running the business, not working in the business. But you being the face of your profile, that means you still have to show up unless you find but I mean, at the same time, you like being in front of a camera. There's a difference. You don't think about it as work. What you think about as work is everything after the content is collected. Okay, now I got to do this, I got to do that, got to fucking put the numbers on there, I got to put the address, that's the part you probably don't like doing anymore since you've been doing it for 10 years,
And it's
my guess.
No, it is. It's totally part of it. Like sometimes I like to know how the things work because then obviously for you guys, like how long it takes to shoot a house. So when someone's like, it's gonna take us this long, you're like, no, it's fucking not. If it's taking you that long, you're not the right guy for us.
Exactly.
But my friend Dolmar has this show on A&E, Zombie House Flippers.
I've seen it. I've seen that one.
So him and I are working on some cool videos. We're gonna have a fun Gasparilla one going out this week. But he can't use any of the content they're shooting for the show for his shit.
Yeah,
so he has
HGTV is tough because we shot for
he's
them.
on A&E.
Oh,
whatever.
A&E?
Okay. Same difference of it, but it's just like he has his own videographer come and do content and shit at these homes that are also going to be on the show.
I'm surprised they allow him to do that.
So it's a little bit different from. It's been
he
a lot of
probably has to
differences.
post it after the episode is released, right?
All types of variations of it. There's a lot of interesting factors and differences between the A&E and HGTV, which
HGTV doesn't allow us to post it, right?
No, they don't.
They're like, it's ours. You can't post it.
Yeah, they do.
And we're the ones filming
Zillow's
it.
trying to do the same thing with us now, but we got our legal team working with their legal team to kind of figure out how we can do this where they don't just take our content and then we're not entitled to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
How much time do you have?
Oh, I'm solid, dude. I booked. I don't have to be to this amazing Cuban spot, which you guys are welcome to come to, until like 1:30.
Okay. All right. So it's 11:25. We got.
Yeah.
We could shoot one more segment because we got one at 12.
Cool.
Yeah. We're confirming on air, guys.
Yeah.
Damn,
this is live.
This is live action.
Had the whole time.
That's why I actually was like, "How long are we doing it for?" He's like, "As long as it goes." I'm like, "Ah, fuck it. I'll block out a couple hours."
Yeah.
It's just that some guy rescheduled on us.
No, dude. It's all good. All good.
Hey, but 2
Are we
hours.
still on? Or?
Yeah, we're still on.
yeah.
This is what you call candid conversation here.
So he has
the
videographer comes to his stuff, and then all of the content that him and his wife have been doing is awesome. And then we were hanging out last week. I was like, "Bro, your wife's fucking killing it." And he's like, "Is she?" I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, dude, she's editing this shit. I thought she's like, dude, she's not doing shit. She's just on the camera. I was just like, oh, okay. But he's like, I have the videographer come and we do these bulk sessions and he's doing all this shit. I was like, that's like, I was talking with my guy who's got the luxury cars and we're talking about like, he's got fuck you money now. Like
I want that.
Like, he's got an amazing story. I'll connect. He's for the show.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Exotic.
What's his
Mr.
name?
Exotic.
His name's Nate. He's a badass dude. He's such a fun guy and he's really accomplished. He created he basically created like a Ticketmaster for high schools. And
For like the football games and shit?
yeah, he's like, I went to a game, they didn't take this and that, and I was like, fuck, dude, why don't we do this? Amazing story.
Yeah, that's a smart idea.
Crushed it. Super cool guy. 2016, no money. Now he's, he got a place up in Ohio, a place over here, and he's a fucking character, dude. You'll have a good time. He'll be on the show.
Has he been to the Enclave? Does he own at the Enclave Motorsports?
Oh, a Motor Enclave? No,
Yeah.
he's friends with the owners and stuff there. I'm sure he's taking a car or something over there. Dude, that place is rad.
We can't go. It's private, bro. We haven't been.
It's like a country club,
I've driven the cars.
Yeah.
It's fucking behind the scenes shit.
We had Ryan McGinnis on here, and
Yeah.
he was, I think he was either an investor in it.
He
or
was an
something.
investor in it and
Oh,
owns
nice.
a
Yeah,
car
he's got a
condo.
whole bunch of cars, bro. Like he's like a car
For
collector.
doing their day experience was pretty cool. I drove I don't know, some fancy BMWs and Mach 3 Mustangs, whatever. I don't even fucking know.
Yeah.
Flying around the track and doing some time trials and yeah. Part of that whole like I just want to retire and it's retiring.
I don't think I would ever want to.
I don't think you ever want to
That's
stop
just-
working.
no, I'm
it's
not.
just
I enjoy
when
What
you're-
am I gonna do? Turn
exactly.
off my brain? I've written 6 songs in 2 days. I didn't even mean to fucking do this shit. Like you can't turn any of this off.
What are you gonna do? Shoot over 100 in golf every day?
No. I will probably still shoot over 100, but that's just like I just want to hang out and do fun shit with my friends and something that I was always trying to figure out ways to like bring my boys along and
Sometimes you gotta
Like an
drop
entourage.
some of them.
but
Sometimes you gotta
but
drop
about
some
making
of
money
them.
with everybody. It's not about
Yeah.
and there's definitely
Sometimes you have to.
you have to
Yeah.
your circle, you're this, you're that.
It gets smaller.
1,000%.
It gets smaller.
Part of the conversation I was having with Nate when he's selling this company, like you don't just get a ton of money and like here's all your legitimate like your new bougie ass friends.
Yeah.
It's like how the fuck does this go? Like these motherfuckers still have jobs and you've got nothing but time. He's like, it's been a challenge. He's got a ton of his own great stories, but like I've always been, since my 20s, like entrepreneurial, where everyone else was more like they're getting jobs, and they all have great, one guy's a big high up at VP at Publix, another guy's an attorney, one guy's a big engineer. Everyone's
Doing
on
good.
Yeah,
look,
yeah.
I value time
I do.
differently than
Freedom of
everyone
time.
else. Where it's like, bro, I'd rather make $250 and work 10 hours than make $1 million and work 60. Like,
Yeah.
fuck that.
That doesn't
Like,
make any sense.
I don't want shit. Like, I don't need anything. I have a house in Carrollwood. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, like 1,500 square feet. Like, I am never gonna upgrade that.
That's all you need, and you got the fucking location. It's all about location too.
I wish I could live in Carrollwood.
Well,
Yeah, I bought this in 2015. I've got a rental property near downtown that we lived in for 5 years.
I bought
and-
during the boom, and I live in fucking New Tampa, and it takes me around 45 minutes to get here, and then it takes me an hour to get home,
Yeah,
which sucks.
I forgot we was the context of where we were going with this.
You were talking about,
About valuing time over money.
valuing time,
Time
and then
over
having
money,
all
man.
your
Like-
friends that they went a different route. They're successful, but at the same time, this guy made all this money. He's like, well, my friends are still working.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
So what I feel like I think become more appreciative of and very conscious to we're already at 20?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, we are. We got a,
Oh,
we
I
got a
forgot.
minute 17
Well,
on this
no, our-
segment.
I forgot our parlay into
Yeah.
discussing time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But I've built a group of people where like I can hit enough other people up that I know have freedom of schedules that I always have someone to hang out with now. So your circle changes, your friends change. I still hang out with all the other people because everyone's doing great, but they can't fuck off at 11 o'clock and come drink with me at
a
some
podcast studio.
Yeah, that's it. And all of these just it takes time, man. It takes time to build these solid relationships. This is definitely a story for the next segment because it was super gratifying because it happened just before I came here. But
so when we get back, we'll go into
absolutely.
that story. Like, comment, and subscribe. We're having a fucking awesome time with Mr. Tampa Bay here. It's been one of my favorite podcasts. We'll be right back.
So, and we're back.
We're back. So I posted all this shit last weekend around like announcing I got my license and I'm grateful. Here's what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And on Facebook, when you do a personal post, you can post pictures and videos where you can't do that on regular pages. And I had like 3 property videos in there. Then my mom calls me and she's just like, you got to take your post down. You can't call it a master bedroom anymore. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You've heard about that, right?
I haven't, and then my wife apparently has.
I think it's dumb as shit, but
so my mom is like super pissed. I'm like, I'm not taking this. I'm not taking this shit down. She's like, you gotta take it down. You're gonna get canceled, and da 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 da. And then my dad's like, you can't call it a toilet. You have to call it the lavatory. I'm like, how about this, guys? I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want.
There you go.
But I'm just like, all right, I won't call it the mass. I'm still not gonna look it up. It just sounds ridiculous.
It's the fact that this only started like a year ago. Calling it the master bedroom was now, oh, do you understand why they call it a master bedroom? I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, guys. Like, how far are we going to go? Yeah. How far are we going to go? I think to me, it's ridiculous.
I'll change it on future shit. Like, whatever. I'll making them.
Because the social media algorithm doesn't like when you delete shit either, right?
So that was actually one of the things I was most concerned about with the idea of leveraging Mr. Tampa Bay to then collab with the other pages. So when I collab any real estate videos, I'm only leaving it up for like 24 hours and taking it off. So I was worried about how that was going to just screw with everything.
Has it?
Everything's been solid.
But you haven't deleted the video. You just removed the collaboration.
I just removed the collaboration.
Because we've had like 1 or 2 people remove the collaboration because they want their page to look a certain way.
Yeah,
which is fine.
With their 500 fucking followers.
Yeah, with their exactly. And then after that, they remove the collaboration.
I don't give a shit.
I mean,
I laugh because it's like you fucking paid me to collaborate with this. It's got 60,000, whatever. It's got a crazy number of views, and you remove yourself. Like every other video's got nothing. Like why would you? I don't give a shit. But it's funny to me. People's like, I want my profile to look this really certain way. Like no one fucking sees it. How about that? How about you get people looking at your shit? But before we left, you mentioned not the lifestyle part, but the something that triggered just an idea. So I used to run a ton of networking events, and right before I got here, just the gratitude of where this journey has taken me from running a ton of networking events. I used to run so many networking events, like 3 to 5, 7 events a week. That's how I grew an insurance company. That's how I grew into networking. That's how I started website stuff, and then 2005 to now. Just before I got here, I was hanging out at Starbucks over by Abby's, and this guy comes in, and I had an insurance company that would also sell prepaid legal, which is now called Legal Shield. The guy comes up to me and goes, I bought Legal Shield from you. I was like, God damn, that was a fucking long time ago. He's like, I used to come to your networking events. And I was like, nice to see you, blah, 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 blah. He's like, I still use it, da, 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 da. Cool. Me and my buddy go back to chatting, and he comes out, and he's like, and another thing, he goes, I met my wife at your networking event.
Oh, wow.
And it was the one here in Carrollwood. And I was like, bro, dude, thank you for sharing that with me. That's so awesome. Like, I met my wife at my networking at that same. So that event started at Perkins right there.
Oh my God, Perkins, dude. I love that.
Which is now PDQ. And then we moved to Mimi's. So that's my wife came to her first networking event, was my event. And then we moved to Mimi's.
Which is no longer Mimi's.
Which is also no longer Mimi's, which is
Black Rock.
Black Rock.
What are you doing closing down these restaurants?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how the fuck that place stays open.
Dude, I know. Mimi's was fucking good, and so was Perkins, man. I liked them both.
Perkins was great. I mean, I think the one is still over in
they're
Fowler
still,
area.
they're still
there. They were great.
Yeah.
But I mean, that real estate, whatever it is, PDQ bought it.
Yeah.
I don't think they closed. I think PDQ bought whatever it was.
Yeah, PDQ is still there, though.
but,
That's all like off of Stall Road.
He met his wife there, and I was like, bro, I met my wife. It was just a cool little, to have done stuff in this Carrollwood community. Like my office was Panera. My office was that Panera right there for years.
By Welcome to Moe's.
By Welcome to Moe's, the Panera down in West Shore, like that was the office. Like that's where every meeting I'm having, I learned insurance. I was like, all right, 1 month was great. I was like, all right, now I'm not rich. What's the deal? I'm a business owner. Like I started a business. I have a tax ID number.
Yeah.
Doesn't money just keep coming in the mail? Is that that's not how this works?
No, it's not.
I'm like 22, 23.
I got to pay taxes? What?
Shit, that was you don't have to pay taxes when you're making like 20 grand. Like they're just like, oh, you're poor. Okay. But first month, awesome. Second month, I got to meet people, go to one event, find out about another event, find out about another event. Now that's the job. How many networking events can I go to? 1 month into that, no one gives a shit about insurance. Okay, so now what am I doing? I'm just meeting people, connecting all of them, figuring out like, all right, I don't know how this is going to turn into money, but fuck, I got to just keep doing it, and made that work and grinded it out. And it's just, I have a composition book where I've like written down what the journey kind of became, like how it started, but from like school side of things. Like my buddy will always joke. He's like, I remember sitting in your apartment, smoking a blunt, and you saying, fuck school, dude. I'm done with this shit. I got this figured out. And goddamn it, he's like, and goddamn Joe. Corey, see Massey right there. Goddamn Joe, figured this shit out. Like, but,
Now I know why you like eating so much.
Dude, I can't even smoke any. Like I would be 1,000 pounds if I was still just getting stoned all the time. Like once that toned down, mid-20s, like then I started hitting a stride. But I wouldn't have been the entrepreneur had I not failed a drug test. I was working at VisionWorks right here on Dale Mabry.
Oh my God, I know that.
The doctor was moving up to Sam's Club, opening up his own practice. He was going to give me a big raise and all this shit. Being a fucking optometric technician, making my $15 an hour, whatever the fuck it is. And I was like, oh, awesome. I stopped smoking for 30 days and then still failed this fucking drug test. And then that's when my buddy and I, after 30 days, like, fuck it. I failed the drug test now. Let me go fucking smoke. Sitting in the apartment with Corey, I was like, fuck this, bro. And like, that was it. It was like me failing a fucking drug test is why all of this is even created. And it's just like, I'm not even getting stoned. And like, I take a gummy here and there. I appreciate getting stoned. I can't function the way other people can function. Where like, I'll be around.
I do it at night.
But I mean, I'll hang
to go to sleep. That's why
I'm sure you've had other friends and guests and this and that. Like they're fine, wake and bake, and they're solid. Like, they're cool
functioning.
For the day.
They're functioning stoners.
I am not an interested person if I'm fucking high. Like I remember being high, hosting one of my networking events once, and I'm just sitting there like, shut the fuck up. I'm just like, I don't care. And then I got to speak. I'm like, God damn it. Like I'm in my head. I don't want to do shit. I just want to eat. It might sound great when you're doing this all the time, but bro, like you have to find ways to mitigate the eating. Yeah. Take a few bites. Whatever. I've tangented off into craziness. Super happy this guy met his wife at my networking event.
And you also met your wife.
And I met my wife. She's been stuck with me now for almost 2008.
What does your wife do for work?
She has a printing company.
Like Kinko's?
Ink on shit. It's called Pip Printing. It's down on Cypress between Dale Mabry and Himes.
Oh, nice. They print on like T-shirts.
So they don't do shirts. It's more signage, paper stuff, promo materials.
Oh, maybe she can get us a good deal on the sign we gotta buy.
Yeah,
because
they totally do a sign. She can do a lot of badass.
They're tearing down.
Cool.
They're tearing down the front billboard.
The one with like everybody's.
And they're redoing it. So
you have to pay for whatever you want your shit to be on there.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it's going to be a basic acrylic kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it's gonna look.
I don't know what they wanted for it, but they were like, "Oh, if you give us this much money, we'll get it done." And it's like, well, what if I just want to have somebody else do it?
Yeah, man. But life's awesome, man.
Yeah.
You mentioned it. Bringing friends around, hanging out. You guys get to come. Look, I get to bring you guys out to go eat some badass sandwiches later on.
Where are you from exactly, Joe?
So came down from New York when I was 8. So moved down in '92. I was over in Palm Harbor, Tarpon area. Palm Harbor, and then I ended up going. Like I was on the edge of the districts. Went to Tarpon High, moved over to Tampa in '03. Lived over by USF
Did you go to USF?
for 2 years.
And then you
They
got high
gave
and
me-
said, fuck it.
They gave me an associate's degree. I went in this business calculus class. I didn't understand. I showed up late. I didn't understand a goddamn thing this guy was saying, and I just was like, "Fuck it," and left. I was like, done. My parents were always super cool, man. They didn't give me shit.
They still live in New York?
No, they're here. I didn't move down by myself when I was 8.
8 years old. Yeah, that's right.
So no, we moved down to Palm Harbor. They lived in Tarpon. Now they're over in back in Palm Harbor off of like Curlew and CR1 area.
Okay.
Just
Palm
outside
Harbor is a
Dunedin.
nice area, man. Now
Harbor's great.
the property value in that area has
crazy. Yeah, it's
skyrocketed.
freaking-
Palm
man.
Harbor, Dunedin, Tarpon.
I mean, honestly, the
It's
whole Tampa
crazy.
Bay area, the whole
Everywhere.
thing is
Oldsmar,
skyrocketed.
essentially.
Oldsmar's such a not a sleeper. Like there's not a lot of.
It's not a big city.
It's not a big city, but they have some of the coolest shit there. They have Canal Park, which has like this internationally utilized like BMX tracks.
Yeah,
and
off
events.
of Tampa Road, right?
It's
Off of
dope,
Tampa,
dude.
yeah.
I used to play baseball there when I was a real little kid before the dirt tracks.
What do you think
Um,
about Felipe Park?
Felipe Park is one of our most amazing
gems.
parks, dude. Amazing. I
Hidden
just rode my
gems.
bike through it the other day, dude.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's like hilly.
Yeah. It's like on an
man.
ancient Indian mound.
Yeah, there's these very large stone
Staircases.
structures
Yeah.
or something like moldings.
They have
architecture.
they have a boat ramp there,
Multiple
which a
boat
lot of
ramps.
people don't know.
Yeah, you know what they also have there, which I learned about at Cypress Point Park. It's like I want to buy
A Korean
paddleboard.
rub and tug?
Step right this way.
Right over here. Just scan the QR code. But they have paddle boards that are just like what we have downtown with like the bikes and the scooters.
Oh,
they have
yeah.
paddle boards you can just
That
take
you
out.
just scan and
Yeah, it's like everything corresponds to like, all right, I scanned it. I scanned number 1. It gives me number 1 paddle board. It's like $25 an hour, like $30 a month or something like that, or $60 a month, whatever it was. They have it's called, I think, Paddle, PADL. It's in Cypress Point. It's in Felipe Park. It's on the other side, like on the Causeway side. There's like 10 or 15 little stations. I was
didn't
like,
know we
this
had
is so
that.
cool.
See, there it is, Joe. Look
We
at
didn't
all
even
these.
know
Look at
that,
all
yeah.
these. If somebody's coming in from out of town or even locally, they don't know about this shit.
well, now where would you post that? Would you post that on St. Pete is
So
awesome?
sometimes I do it where I
Or
can
Dunedin is
collaborate it on all the
Oh,
pages.
yeah.
Like it's cool for everybody.
Mhm.
So I might do it on, let's say, might start it on a Dunedin page and then collab with all the other ones, so I get Dunedin a little bit more juice. But it's probably most appropriate for the Tampa Bay one.
Yeah.
How are you finding this?
I was just at Cypress Point Park with my daughter and my wife. the
And you
other
were
day.
like, oh shit, I could just scan a code.
well, we were looking at the paddle boards. I was like, is anybody here to rent this? How the fuck does this work? And
yeah.
I walk up and it's like, you just scan this QR code and the app. And I was like, dude, this is badass.
What is it like? Unlock something and then you pull the
Absolutely.
paddleboard?
It's just like the bikes when like you
Right.
put them back in the thing and they're locked
Right.
until you scan it to release them. Same exact thing.
And then if you keep it, they're going to be charging you up until you return
I
it. So
don't-
you can't just walk away.
Oh yeah, it's not just like leave the scooter busted on the side of the
Yeah,
road.
yeah,
Like this is
yeah.
like you have to return it to
Yeah.
the space.
It's crazy how those things disappeared, and then during the pandemic, the QR codes came back to life.
I know, and the QR codes are
Remember, because they
are
were
awesome.
they were big for a little bit, then they faded away, and then during COVID they came back,
the
and
QR
they've been
codes,
back.
Yeah,
So when it like I forgot what year when they were a thing, and my wife's in this printing industry like this is gonna change shit. I
Yeah.
was like, this isn't gonna change fucking anything until it's native on your phone. Because when it started, you needed an app. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
needed.
which now you don't need one anymore.
I'm just like until you can just take your phone and do this, it's not going anywhere. And
2020 happened.
like boom,
Yeah.
and then it's like it's relevant, and even
Like-
I don't want to say the same pivoting of the like augmented reality stuff, which is super badass.
I think that's just a bunch of bullshit, bro.
It'll be cool when it's native. If
When
it's not native,
You know what?
it's-
Augmented reality will be good when it's like Ready Player One. Have you seen that movie?
I haven't seen it.
I don't think so.
Yeah, watch that movie. So we got 3 minutes left.
Okay,
Man, Joe, we
Damn, it
like
just goes
to
by like this, man.
we like to leave our audience members with maybe your last words, something that you think will motivate them or something that would provide them knowledge
Or inspire,
or
whatever.
inspire. What are your last words here?
So
Your final words.
reading, and like, look, if you're not, David Goggins is like the jam for me at this point. Are you guys Goggins fans?
I don't know who
What
that
the
is.
fuck?
Yeah, I know.
I'm a
gotta
Les
check-
Brown fan.
Bro. All right, so
I don't know who Goggins is.
David Goggins, 2 books. He's been on a shitload of podcasts. Like, you can't listen to either of his stories and not just become a more impactful person in the world. He doesn't want the accolades, but he deserves all of it, and he's a badass, but he's just real. That's kind of been one of my biggest staples over the last few years. Is his content and thousands and maybe thousands, hundreds and hundreds of other books, but read, listen to stuff, learn from everyone else, fail quickly. You know, something, damn it. You said something earlier that made me think of a book, which we'll have to talk about on another show, but it's just like so many things are relevant to just trying, just get out and do, stop overthinking shit. And get to work and be consistent. Set a plan. You're going to have a goal that's going to change, but just work. Work begets work. I love this Elon Musk thing you got here. So the quote that I love throwing out when I see people bitching, and I think about it more than I'll say it, but you are compensated in direct proportion to the complexity of the problems you solve.
I love that.
Damn.
I love that.
There you
Manny,
go.
what that means is that the
like
harder
that.
the problem, the more you get paid.
Watch it. Okay?
Well, one minute now.
Okay. Well, hey, it's been a hell of a podcast, Joe. Thank you so much for
Absolutely,
coming
guys.
in and spending the time with us, man. Make sure you guys follow Tampa Bay's Awesome, all the awesome, St. Pete, Dunedin, Clearwater Beach, and that's on Facebook and Instagram. So
We are going to do a giveaway in probably the next couple of weeks of a Lambo or a Ferrari for a day. So go follow Mr. Tampa Bay.
Mr. Tampa Bay, that's the other one.
Boom.
Yeah. So
And then like, comment, and subscribe for Happy Hour Holidays. We're on all platforms that you can think of. Literally every single platform. So I don't need to name them out. We are on all of them. Manny, take it away. 18 seconds.
Yo, thanks for stopping by and get motivated, get inspired, and get what you want, man. Either you're going to help somebody else build their dreams or you're going to build your dream.